Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Tuesday Talks with the Conways.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm Chris. We're so glad that you could join us this week.
Yes.
We are pumped for our live tonight.
What he said. We are excited about this topic because it's something that probably everyone deals with at some
Oh,
point or the other.
absolutely. Yep. Um, if you're normal, you probably would struggle with this, and everybody knows that no one's normal. I once read a
Yeah.
book, "Everyone's normal until you get to know them," kind of thing. So, no
I'm
one's
not
no
normal.
one's
I
normal.
don't even claim to be normal
No,
anymore.
and who wants to be normal? So we're stop having some lighting issues, but I've noticed that as I get closer to Courtney, it all looks perfect. So, so I'll just be gravitating towards Courtney until we figure out this lighting in this place. But
And we tried turning the desk, but then it still did that on Chris
it's
no
only
matter
on
how we
me.
turned it. So
Yeah, not on her beautiful face.
not really sure what's going on there.
Yep. I just think that the lighting doesn't like me.
Yeah.
It's trying to save y'all from seeing this face.
Oh my goodness.
And hello, Radina and Diane. Thank you so much for joining us, and all of our other regulars and new people. So feel free to comment where you're watching from, especially if you're new. But we're really, really glad to have you all here for this week. So if you want to go ahead and introduce our topic for this week.
Yes. Tonight we were talking about overcoming self-doubt. Like I said, this is something that everyone has to deal with at some point or another. Even people that have been on their health journey for years
Mhm.
sometimes has some self-doubt. So we're going to be talking about that
Hey,
tonight.
Naomi. Welcome. Glad to have you here. So yes, so overcoming self-doubt. So I think even the most strongest person is going to have moments of doubt. So it's very normal to have moments of doubt, even for everyday people. I think I doubt multiple times a day, sometimes every week, but we have each other, and that's part of what
Mhm.
we're going to be talking about to help motivate us and kind of push through that those moments of doubt. We'll give you some tools to look at, some things that you can do to kind of push forward. Some of it, honestly, is probably just fake it till you make it. Sometimes,
Yep.
and Courtney is saying over and over again, consistency over motivation is going to definitely be key. So regardless of whether you're doubting yourself or you're struggling or you're not seeing what you're seeing, keep pushing forward. So one of the things that we want to encourage you to is to practice self-compassion. So be kind to yourself. Courtney has mentioned this multiple times. Give yourself grace.
Yes, absolutely. Give yourself grace. Like, even if you've had a really bad day, like you've just eaten 5,000 calories, you haven't worked out, like give yourself grace because everyone's going to have a bad day. Everyone's going to have those moments. And you are not alone in your self doubt. If you have doubt, if you're just like, I can't do this anymore, like you are not alone in that. Like I said, everybody has dealt with that. And just being kind to yourself and giving yourself grace is a great place to start in overcoming the self doubt.
Mhm. Absolutely, and give yourself encouragement. Just pretend you're one of your friends. What would they say to you in your moment of doubt, in your moment of frustration? What would they say to you to help if make you feel encouraged? Say those to yourself, but then also have your friends and your partners and your life journey people, have them present too to give you that encouragement and help you to stop doubting and push forward. We did have a comment on Instagram that mentioned what's the best advice for calories. She gained a pound even eating 50 less calories, and it makes her feel sad. And she says she's not going to quit, but it's very frustrating, and that definitely
Mhm.
is very frustrating. The thing about that is you may not have. I seriously doubt you gained a whole pound of fat.
Yeah, you could be bloated. I mean, there's so many things that contribute to a pound. That's just not gaining it from fat. You can be bloated, you can have water weight, you could have gained some muscle. So
Depending on
there,
your
yeah.
your activity, yes. So don't
The scale
discourage.
is not the only
Mhm,
tool for success.
absolutely. So look for those non-scale victories, but try to stay on plan. So if you're in
Try
the
to keep pushing.
and using the healthy app, stay within those goals. Those goals are set for you to be in a deficit and to have a loss, and try to be as consistent as possible. Is kind of my biggest
And
suggestion.
then one thing that I've mentioned multiple times on here is to track every single BLT. And what I mean by that is every bite, lick, and taste. If you just had like a lick of some frosting, go ahead and track some frosting. If you had a bite of your kid's food, track that bite, because they add up. And then also weighing your food.
Mhm.
If you're not weighing your food, you may actually be eating more than you think you're eating.
Mhm.
So if you can get a food scale, weigh
Mhm.
your food, and then that's going to be the most accurate form, because sometimes, like for instance, chips. I'll have chips and I'll grab the 13 chips or whatever, and turns out I'm eating an extra 100 calories because I didn't weigh them out.
Mhm.
Because
Exactly.
sometimes it's just not as accurate as weighing out.
And then Courtney brought something to my attention. Sometimes when our daughter was eating something, she wouldn't finish something. I would have a couple bites before throwing it away or finishing it. And while that's not a lot, it's still more than what I tracked. So just make sure you're tracking, being consistent, but stick with what the healthy app gives you as goals for whether it's bites or calories or any of those types of
Hmm.
things, and try not to stress it.
Yeah.
And don't overcompensate. Oh, I'm a pound. I gotta have even less
Yeah.
calories. It's not necessarily going to be ideal. You want to make sure you're having enough to fuel your body. Your metabolism's kind of like a little fire. You kind of have to stoke it every so often to keep it going. If you go too long without eating, that could slow your metabolism
Hmm.
too. So that could be another reason why you could be up as well too. So don't get discouraged, Queen Bee, and just keep going. But try to focus on some of those other things.
Yes, absolutely. But with that, another thing to overcome self doubt is challenging negative thoughts.
Hmm.
When you have a negative thought, counter that with past successes. Tell yourself how far you come. Tell yourself something good that you've done, even if it's just something good that you did yesterday.
Hmm.
Counter it with thoughts of why you're on this journey. Leave yourself encouraging quotes laying around, like write it on the mirror.
Sticky notes.
Yes.
If you need to use dry erase markers or write on that mirror so you see it
Mhm.
through your reflection.
Yes, and I've heard, and I don't know if I 100% like this, but it works. I've heard of people even putting Post-it notes on their fridge. But
Hmm.
my whole thing is, if you're hungry, don't pay attention to that Post-it note. Get some food.
Yes.
But I have heard of people putting Post-it notes on their fridge, just kind of, especially if they're people that just eat when they're bored,
Hmm.
to just encourage themselves and remind themselves like why you're doing it, that you can do it. But definitely, if you have those negative thoughts,
Hmm.
counter it with positive thoughts. Like I said, remind yourself of how far you've come, or of where you've been, and just think of like any sort of success that you've had, even if it's very small, because even
Hmm.
the small successes are wins.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So basically kind of one for one or even two for one. Like anytime you have a negative thought, stop yourself and then try to train your mind. If you stop in the process of those negative thoughts and think more positive thoughts and think of the successes, that will help kind of
Mhm.
rewire the brain, so that you're thinking a lot more
Yes,
positively.
and with that, kind of along with the first one of having friends in your corner, if you can't think of anything, if you're just like, I'm struggling to even
Hmm.
think of a good thing that I've done on this journey, get your accountability partner and they will find something. Like, I've had moments where I've looked in the mirror and been like, Chris, I don't see it. Like,
Hmm.
I've lost over 100 pounds, but I don't see it. And he has to be like, okay, Courtney, this is what's different. Look at this, look at that. You've done this, you've done that. And I mean, he will tell me everything. So get that person that's going to be like, look, snap out of it, like that's going to be there and help you get the self-doubt out if you can't do it yourself, because sometimes we just can't do it ourselves.
Exactly. And then another thing, to kind of help you to not doubt yourself is try to focus on, or it's kind of hard sometimes to visualize where you want to
Hi,
be.
Joy.
Hi, Joy. Glad you made it. Joy starting a choir practice, and so she's hoping to get out in time
Oh.
to watch us. So glad you joined us, as well as welcome, Barbara. And if you notice, I'm gravitating closer to Courtney. It's one because of her beauty, but two, lighting is a little bit better. Thank you,
Thank you,
Barbara.
Barbara.
We definitely feel it, and we are making some pretty good progress
I'm
in
at a
recent
I'm
weeks.
at a I'm at a new low.
Yep,
So,
we
well,
both
not
are.
today. I am bloated today, but yesterday I was at a low. So,
Yes. So we're really, really feeling it, and we're gonna try to keep this momentum and keep moving forward to
yes.
make sure that we don't doubt ourselves.
Oh, here. Sorry, we're
Um,
looking at our notes.
yes, we are. Yes, visualize success. So visualize where you want to be. It's kind of hard to picture yourself because personally, I've been overweight my entire life.
Hmm.
There are some of you that may not have been overweight, and so you can kind of visualize what you were, when you were 20 or 30, if that's a healthy weight. You try to visualize what you hope to be, whether that is um, uh, more fit so you can run around with your kids, go upstairs without being winded, or if it's getting into a certain size, try to visualize yourself in that and use that as motivation to keep yourself from doubting. You've got this, we've got this, and use that to keep yourself from doubting.
Yes, absolutely. Like, envisioning like one of my big goals, and I'm almost like I think I'm getting close. One of my big goals is to be able to walk into any store and buy clothes. Like, it does not have to be strictly for plus size.
Hmm.
I am very, very close to that. I fit into a 16, 18. I'm actually wearing them right now, from Walmart. But I started out wearing a 28, 30 from Walmart.
Hmm.
But anyways, I will literally visualize myself going into any store and shopping, like, and buying whatever clothes I want and not having to worry about whether or not they have plus size clothes. And
Yeah.
that's just something that gets me motivated and gets me going, is being like, okay, one of these days I'm going to walk in those stores and I'm not going to have to go to the plus size section.
Yeah.
Like, and so just like thinking about that kind of gets me going, like,
Hmm.
okay, I can do this. Like, I'm going to do, like, I have a goal in mind and I'm visualizing it.
Hmm. Because for us, we would have to so many times go to special stores,
Mhm.
or special sections in the stores, and there are some stores, unfortunately, that don't even have in
Yep.
stock, that you have to order them online, and that's not really a fun experience to
Yes,
have.
like I'll go shopping with friends and I'm literally just shopping for like purses because I can't fit the clothes.
Hmm. But so visualizing being able to walk into any store
Mhm.
and be able to buy clothes. That, granted, I might still have some troubles just because
He's
I'm
very
also
tall,
tall.
so he's gonna have to shop in the big and tall section
And I have to
regardless.
order, not a special order, but I have to
Pretty
order
much.
shoes, just because,
He wears like a size 16.
yeah. So it may not always be possible, but being able to go into any store and buy
Mhm.
most anything and not have to go to the plus section, which is very, very motivating. So that in itself will help you to stop doubting yourself, because you can do this.
Yes. And another thing is focus on progress, not perfection. We are not
Mhm.
perfect people.
No.
Even people that like you idolize or whatever you want to say.
Models,
Yes, they're
actors.
not perfect
Mm-mm.
at all. I have seen like the models even like admit that they have been photoshopped on like magazines.
Mhm.
Nobody's perfect. And like someone that you're looking at thinking, "Oh, I wish I looked like them." They're probably looking at somebody else thinking, "Oh, I wish I looked like them."
Mhm.
Everyone has something that they want to
Oh, yeah.
change. So focus on progress and not perfection, because if you focus on that perfection, you're going to be disappointed because nobody is perfect. At like literally nobody.
Yep. But then Courtney does the same thing. She'll go and she'll be looking for the plus
I will
sizes
go
and
and look at
forget,
3 or 4X clothes,
and they're too big.
and sometimes I just won't try them on. Radina said that she will forget that she's lost weight and she'll go to the plus size section. I do that all the time. I go to the 3 or 4X and sometimes I won't try it on, and I'll like get home and be like, "Oh no, like this
It's
is
too
like
big.
3 sizes too big." So I do that all the time.
Which is, I guess, a fun reminder of your progress, and you can use that to
Mhm.
keep yourself from doubting.
Yes.
And then another thing, is journaling. Journaling and tracking your progress can be very, very helpful, because if I'm
Mhm.
having a rough week and I'm struggling, um, but last week I had lots of motivation and I was doing really good. If I had journaled last week, which I'm not a huge journaler,
Mhm.
Courtney used to journal a lot, but you can go back to those weeks and those days where you had a lot of motivation and you were not struggling, and remind yourself, so you can go back to previous Chris or previous Courtney's mindset and remind yourself of how much you've done and
Mhm.
how accomplished you are, and how you can do this. So journaling and those types of things, and then documenting your journey too, is we used to not like to take full body pictures, because we just were not
Mhm.
really pleased with how we looked. But if we didn't have those full body pictures, we wouldn't have anything to compare them to
Yeah.
and then see the progress. And then even now, we still try to make sure.
It's been a little while since we've taken a full body picture, but
Yeah, yeah, it's really cute seeing our daughter take this mindset. Oh, I want to take a picture. She's not ashamed of taking pictures like we used to
mhm.
be, and so it's really cute
She
being able to
literally sat on a stack of water bottles at the store yesterday and was like,
take
"Take
a
a
picture.
picture." Like all the time.
And I think it's because she's seen us in moments take pictures, like on Sunday. We're walking by a brick
Yeah.
wall and we're dressed nicely. I'm taking a full body picture, so she sees us, that and that in another way, and a completely different reason, is instilling her with a better self-esteem. And
Mhm.
we can use that for ourselves, but taking pictures in the progress, because it's nice to see those progress shots,
Yes.
where you were at, 100 pounds ago, 50 pounds ago, 25 pounds, and then as you keep going. So document that. If you don't have any photos,
Mhm.
it just will be harder to see the
Yes.
progress.
Yes, because like I said earlier, sometimes, like, I look in the mirror and I don't see it. Like, I've lost over 100 pounds, but I'm just like, I don't see it. Having those pictures, having that documentation really helps, because I can look and be like, "Oh, wait a minute. I have lost a lot of weight. Look,
Mm,
look at the difference." And that's one reason that I like our Instagram account. I have not been as active on it recently, but, like, putting the transformation pictures, the face-to-face pictures, I document my weight every single day on there. I can go back and look at that documentation. I can
mhm,
see from January till now, I have my daily weights like written down.
mhm,
I can see where I've been and I can see the fluctuations, which is also nice. But it is also nice in journaling that you can see the ups and the downs. So you can see that it's not all rainbows and unicorns. Like, there
mhm,
are some hard moments. So with journaling, like, not only will it help with your self-doubt, but it'll also help you realize that, like, sometimes it is tough.
mhm.
And it'll help you remember that when it does get tough again, be like, it was tough then. I got out of it. I will get out of it this time.
Absolutely, and that goes back to Queen Bee's moment about gaining a little bit, even though they're eating less calories.
Mhm.
There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be reasons for
Fluctuations.
that.
Mhm.
So just keep moving forward and never give up.
Yes.
And then we've mentioned this before today, and also in previous ones. Just surround yourself with positive
Yeah.
people. Um, we have a friend named Nancy, and we love her. So this doesn't apply to her, but don't surround yourself with negative Nancys.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
it can be detrimental to your mental health if you're around somebody who is too negative. Granted, I'm not to say stop being friends with somebody just because
Mhm.
they're negative, but limit your exposure to
Yes.
them.
You need someone that's going to be honest, but not to the point that is detrimental
Mhm,
to your mental health or to your health journey in general.
mhm,
Like I said, Chris will tell me, when I'm having a rough day, he'll tell me why I shouldn't be. He's also going to be honest, though. If I put on a pair of pants and they don't look good, he's going to be like, listen, well, he should be. He's not always. He should be. So have someone that's going to help you and that's going to be honest but not detrimental
mhm,
to what you're trying to do as well. So surround yourself with positive people.
mhm. And people that will encourage you, because and we've mentioned it's okay to treat yourself,
Mhm.
but don't surround you with somebody that will encourage you all the time to treat yourself all the time, because
Yeah.
then that will be also counterproductive as well.
Mhm. Absolutely. But yes, surround yourself with people that are going to help you in this health journey,
Mhm,
because your health is one of the most important things.
mhm,
And you need people that's going to help you get there. If it's somebody, and make sure it's not people that are jealous. Like, there are going to be people that are jealous that seem encouraging, but really they're not.
mhm.
Pay attention to that. Just a little, what, public service announcement, a little PSA. Pay attention to that.
Yes, make sure that they're genuine too. And then the last thing that we wanted to talk
Oh,
about
I have
is,
one more
oh, go
thing
ahead.
after that,
Go
but
ahead. Well,
oh,
you can do it.
again, but set small goals.
Oh, yes, and realistic goals. Yeah.
Realistic small goals, because that's going to really help you. If we've talked about this all the time. If your only goal is to lose 100 pounds, it's going to be really hard to
Mm,
get there, because you're going to sometimes, instead of being like, oh, I've lost 5 pounds, you're going to be like, oh, I still have 95
95
more
pounds.
pounds to go. But if you have a small goal of losing 5 pounds on your way to 100 pounds, it's a different mindset.
Hmm.
It helps you overcome that self-doubt and overcome the dauntingness of losing, because some people just have a lot of weight to lose. And even if you don't have a lot of weight to lose, even if you only have 20 pounds, that seems like a lot.
Hmm.
Like, to the person that has to lose 20 pounds, it's a lot.
Hmm.
So give yourself small goals, small realistic goals, and celebrate yourself along the way.
Hmm.
Because with every goal, it's going to kind of help get rid of that self-doubt with every single goal that you hit.
Hmm.
If you want to have a goal, like if you want your next goal to be to lose a pound, celebrate that pound. Then the next goal can still be a pound. Like, just celebrate all along the journey, and that's going to help you overcome
That
that
will
self-doubt.
change your mindset too. Losing 100 pounds is daunting, but I just crushed the past 3 goals I set to lose 5 pounds each, and that's 15 pounds.
Yeah.
That will help you change the mentality and help you realize that the 100-pound goal you have is achievable because you have these smaller steps in
Yes.
between.
Absolutely.
And then the last thing that we wanted to talk about is learn from your setbacks and use that to motivate you. You know, we've talked about being on a plateau for 2 years, um, which I see that as a minor setback because we didn't gain all that weight back, but we didn't. The minor loss is that we didn't lose the weight that we could have during that time.
Yeah.
But use those setbacks to motivate you and don't get discouraged. So you were off plan yesterday, be on plan today. You were on off
Yep.
plan last week. Next week, be back on plan. And Regina mentions that her goal is 100 pounds, but she's only 5 pounds from that
That's
now.
amazing. You are so close and you got this.
Yes, you've got that. It's 5
And even
pounds
if
is
that
nothing.
5 pounds takes you a month or two, it's okay. You have
Or
come
3 or 4.
so far.
Yes. So
We're
no
proud
matter
of
how
you.
long it takes that to get that last 5 pounds, that is amazing. So we're very, very proud of you.
Yes, but like Chris said, learn from your setbacks.
Mhm.
Because like we said, it's not all going to be rainbows and unicorns. There are going to be hard times, but learn from those hard times to keep you going when you are frustrated because you overcame the hard time last time, you can overcome it again.
Absolutely. Now we're going to be talking about our recipe.
Yes. So in August, I did like dump and go crock pot meals. This is not a dump and go crock pot meal, but it is so easy. So I figured it was really, really good to kind of go with my August series, even though it's September now. But I mean, it's literally takes 5 minutes to
Well,
throw
it's like
together.
3 ingredients.
3 ingredients. It's so easy. But
Here we go.
there we go. Brown sugar Italian chicken. It's good. Preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Line a baking dish with aluminum foil. You want to line it with aluminum foil because the brown sugar is going to kind of like caramelize and stuff, and it will stick. It will stick. You might even want to spray the foil. But combine a packet of Italian salad dressing mix. The mix, not the dressing itself, just the mix. Combine that with some Swerve brown sugar or whatever brown sugar replacement you like. You can also use regular brown sugar. It's going to be divided between 6 servings, so the macros won't be that bad per serving if you just want to use regular brown sugar. But combine the brown sugar and the dressing mix. Add any other seasonings you want, garlic powder, onion powder, whatever you want. And then coat the chicken with the mixture. Just coat it really well. Put the chicken on the baking dish and top with the remaining mixture because it won't use it all. And then just bake it for 20 to 25 minutes, depending on how big your chicken breast is. And until the internal temperature reaches 165 degrees Fahrenheit. That's it. Serve it with whatever veggies, rice, mashed potatoes, whatever. But
we're so glad to have you. Angela mentioned on Facebook that she listens to or watches our podcast, the recording of it after the fact, but she's able to watch us live. So
we're so glad you're here.
Glad you're able to watch us live. It's different watching it live, knowing that you're able to react to things, but it is still great. And that is a good reminder I forgot to mention at the beginning of this, that you can go back and listen to our recordings previously and catch up on them as well. But the macros on this thing are really great. I'll let Courtney talk about them.
It is between 0. This is another 0 bite on the Better Balance plan. Between 0 and 5 bites, which is pretty good. So you can add like mashed potatoes, rice, whatever with it, and it's still not going to break the bite bake. 205 calories, 17.4 net carbs. Will be more net carbs if you use regular brown sugar. 37.2 grams of protein.
Which is amazing.
Yes. So delicious. Easy. It's another one of those quick, throw it together in 5 minutes. You're good to go. Put it in the oven. Done.
And customize whatever side you have. You can have some veggies that also are 0 bites.
Yes, but also with the temperature of that, it says 20 to 25 minutes. Keep the size, like I said, keep the size of your chicken breast in mind because if they're bigger, it might take longer.
Yeah, because I like some big breasted chicken and that takes a little longer.
Yes. So just keep that in mind. You can also just cut it into tenders and coat it, and it wouldn't take as long. You can also air fry it. Whatever your heart desires.
Absolutely. You could even dice them up because if you dice them up, then you can toss it on some rice.
That's true.
Absolutely. So we're so glad to have you all here with us, all that are here with us live, as well as those that will listen to the recording later. If you have any topics that you'd like us to
Mhm.
discuss, we have been contemplating doing another Q&A session where we did one a while back that was very, very fun. If you have any recipes you'd like for Courtney to share to maybe lighten up.
Yes, I'm trying to find more recipes that I can try to lighten up. So if you
Mhm.
have anything, or if you have like a recipe like from a restaurant, and you're like, hey, can you figure out how to make this at home for less calories, less bites? I've got you. Just let me know.
And as we're coming up on the holidays in the near future, which is hard to believe that we're coming up on the
I
holidays.
know. It's the Burr months.
Yes,
I
Corey is
love
really
the
excited.
Burr month.
We might try to do some of those more traditional holiday dishes, but have them more lightened up so that you can
Yes.
enjoy them. Because maybe you can make them lightened up and then bring them to your family holidays
Or,
party and surprise them.
or if some of you just want some holiday dishes and you're like, hey, it's for the holidays. I don't care if it's lightened up. I don't mind having a few recipes that are not as lightened up
Mhm.
if that's what you want.
Because we made some homemade cinnamon rolls last night.
Oh, they
So
were so
we're
good.
definitely not lightened up, but we were responsible and portioned them out.
I ate two, and they were not huge.
Yeah, they're fairly small ones.
But cinnamon rolls is my weakness. So for me to only eat two small cinnamon rolls, y'all, I was proud.
It's a very big success.
I was proud.
When beforehand, even myself not being a super sweets, I would have had way more than I should have.
It's one of my absolute favorites of all time.
So that, and that's not to say that we have perfect self control. Today and yesterday we had good self control. Next week we might not have as much, but take the wins where you can.
Yeah.
But there are definitely some times where you can treat yourself.
Yep.
All right. So thank you so much for joining us this week, and
My mom said she wants one.
we'll try to make you some fresh.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining us this week. I hope you have a wonderful, safe, and productive week, and we'll see you all next Tuesday.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.